Hi there, it's Mrs. Ortiz, and we're going to cover objective 3.5, which is write and graph equations of lines. And really we're going to focus on parallel and perpendicular lines as being the newer content, okay? And the rest of this should be review because we did it at the beginning of the year. So the essential question, how do we graph equations of lines, and how do we write equations of lines? So before we jump into this, let's remind ourselves of the three forms for a line. There is slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. There is standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are all integers and a is positive. And there's point slope form, which is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. Now, of those three forms, the one that you have to know is slope-intercept form, because if you're given any other form, as long as you can put it into slope-intercept form, you will be fine, okay? So, we are going to jump right in with some examples. So I am going to let you do number 1. We are starting here with an equation that is in standard form, and you can put it in slope-intercept form and graph it, or if you're familiar with finding the intercepts, that's another way to graph in standard form. Then we have number 2, which I'm also going to let you do, okay? And then we have number 3, which I'm going to let you do, okay? So you're going to write the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So find the y-intercept and the slope from that graph. And then I will do 4, 5, and 6 with you. Okay, so number 4 says write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form that has a slope of 1/3 and passes through the points 6, -4. So we know that this line has a slope of 1/3 and it passes through the points 6, -4, and we want to write our equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So to write this in slope-intercept form, we need a number for m and we need a number for b. Well, we have m here, and we have an x and a y. So we're going to use m, x, and y to solve for b. So substitute -4 in for y, and that's equal to 1/3 for m times x, which is 6, plus b. And we've got -4 equals 1/3 of 6 is 2, plus b. When we subtract 2 from both sides, we get that b is equal to -6. And we can write our equation as y equals 1/3 x minus 6. Okay. So for number 5, it says write an equation of a line passing through the point 1, -1 that is parallel to the line with the equation y equals 2x minus 1. So again, to write the equation of a line, we need y equals mx plus b. We are given the coordinate 1, -1, and we know that our line is parallel to this line right here, okay? So remember from the previous lesson that lines that are parallel have the same slope. So we identify the slope in this equation as being 2, so then the slope of the parallel line will also be 2. And then we're just going to use what we did in number 4. So we're going to plug in 1 for x, -1 for y, and a +2 for the slope. So we've got -1 for y equals 2 times 1 plus b. We're going to solve for b. Subtract 2 from both sides. And b is equal to -3. So the equation of our line parallel to 2x minus 1 is y equals 2x minus 3. Okay, so that's number 5. Number 6 is similar. We're going to write the equation of a line that passes through the point 3, 2 and is perpendicular to the line k that has the equation y equals -3x plus 1. Okay, so we need the equation of a line, y equals mx plus b. Again, we need to find the slope and the y-intercept to write the equation. We know our line passes through 3, 2, and it's perpendicular. So we're going to look at the slope of this line, which is -3, and our perpendicular slope is going to be the opposite reciprocal because they have a product of -1. So the opposite of negative is positive, and the reciprocal of 3 is 1/3 when we flip it. So our slope of our perpendicular line is 1/3. We're going to substitute in x, y, and m to solve for b. So we've got y equals 2. That's equal to 1/3 for the slope times 3 plus b. 1/3 of 3 is 1. We'll subtract 1 from both sides. We get 1 is equal to b. The equation of our line that's perpendicular to the given line, is y equals 1/3 x plus 1. Okay, so there are 3 examples, and then remember that you are supposed to go back and do number 1. So right now, go back and focus. I'll put the question in right here for number 1. And we'll put the question in right here for number 2. And when I say question, it'll probably be questions. And we'll put the question in right here for number 3. And then we're going to go down here and answer our essential questions. So how do we graph equations of lines? To graph equations of lines, you either put the equation in slope-intercept form. So put the equation of the line in slope-intercept form. And if you do that, you're going to identify and plot the y-intercept, which is b. Then use m to plot the next point. And then the second question that we were asked is, how do we write equations of lines? So using either the equations for slope or for the equation of a line. Okay, so using formulas for slope, or y equals mx plus b. Find the slope and y-intercept, and then plug those into y equals mx plus b. Now again, if you're familiar with equations in point slope form or standard form, then obviously there are some tools that you can use, but they're not required to know. Okay, I think that's it. Have a good day. Bye.